If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today. What are the potential cons to cover cropping? Because there's got to be people who are saying, like, I'm not going to do that. Is it the worry that they're going to spend the money on the seed and not get the return on the money? Like, is there a risk of doing it? And why wouldn't you do it, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Let me just add one other thing on Jason's thing, and then let's circle back to that question, is we have noticed infiltration increases. And so whenever we have a 5-inch rainstorm, the water runs off from his neighbors and basically infiltrates into his land. So every drop of rain that Jason gets essentially stays on his farm. Now, when we get excess runoff, that is a problem, but that's also got to do with everything that's upland. But when you have a raindrop, even a 1 to 2 inch storm on his property, it's going to sink straight in. Okay, so circling back, can you just ask that question again to me?
Yeah, people hear that, all the benefits of cover crops. It's pretty amazing. It almost feels like a free lunch in a way. Yet not everybody's doing cover crops. What are some of the reasons you hear farmers say, I'm not going to do it? Is it the worry I'm going to spend the money on the seed, spend the time, plant it, and I'm not going to get the return?
Okay, well, the funny answer, the funny and silly answer is that you lose tractor tires because you have a lot of deer antlers in the field. So your tractor tire consumption does go up. One of the objections is that this is just an added cost, and then there's no thought given to some of those benefits, because I think farmers have been inculcated to believing that if you cut back on any kind of chemical inputs, you're going to have a disaster on your hand. So if you're a farmer and you're not penciling in a profit, and then you're being told by somebody with a funny accent like me that cover crops are going to help you, you're saying the guy's lost his nuts, he's lost his marbles because he's asking me to spend $30 on seed, an acre on seed, and then I still got to drill it in. And then what do I do in terms of terminating the cover crop and planting into it? So it would be the added expense. I think the other concern many farmers have had, and it's been met with so much YouTube stuff, is how do I plant into 10,000 pounds of residue? Because when that cover crop, warm season cover crop, cool season cover crop gets up to about shoulder height, you've got about 10 to even 18,000 pounds, dry pounds per acre of residue. How do you plant into that? So there are a lot of guys who plant in green, some of them terminate, and so there's a lot of back and forth on that. But planting into it is another problem. I think farmers are also told that, you get green bridging, and I don't disagree with this, is that sometimes you get pest carryover. So, for instance, there may be certain cover crop species that are hosts to nematodes, for example, and they will carry those across. I'm not an expert on that, so there's only anecdotal evidence that I have. But, I've seen in some cases that where we had a crimson clover, we did see in the following corn crop, we did see spiral nematodes in our field. But I went to another farm that had an active growing crimson clover cover crop, and I looked there and I didn't find any. So, the jury's, as far as I'm concerned, the jury's out. But again, I think I've had to learn that I shouldn't be dismissive. And, my stance was always, if you've got multi-species cover crops out there, nature's going to take care of herself. And I don't think that's always the case. I think we've got to be very intelligent about choosing cover crops. But I'm not always sure exactly where that goes. So I often trust what the farmers I work with see, what they see, and then I kind of try and try and collect evidence that either confirms or refutes a particular hypothesis that they have. But if you go back, it's going to be that added expense, and how do I plant into that, and then the disease.
Hey there! Tired of spending forever seeding nursery trays by hand? Meet the Quick Click Drop Seeder. It makes seeding trays super fast. Just a click and you're done. You can seed multiple trays in no time, making your nursery work way easier. Plus, it works with paper pot trays, microgreens, and any other tray that you have. Say goodbye to tedious seeding and hello to more time on the farm. Join hundreds of other farmers and try the Quick Click Seeder today. Available at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.